بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters who are listening, first Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's wonderful to come here in Blackburn Sharif, as they say. And by the way, I do like to engage with my crowd when I'm speaking to them. So if I find I ask you a question, I'd like to say yes or no. Is that okay? Sometimes I might crack a joke here and there, and that's to keep you awake and to also make you remember what I've just said. Sometimes what happens is when you have, it's not for any other purpose, it's not for entertainment purpose or anything. Sometimes when you hear something like that, you can remember that part of the bayan because of the joke. Otherwise, most of, when we have lectures like this, we forget 95% of it we forget anyway. There's only going to be like 5% of what you're retaining from what you're hearing right now. So again, a request is that you have attention. We're not here for any entertainment purpose. Honestly, we've got a very serious topic here, which is parenting in the 21st century. Times have changed. We're not living the days before. Subhanallah al-Azim. I think, our fathers, our grandfathers, they probably never saw much change in their entire life. Like, let's talk about the Gujarati, let's say, grandfathers that we had, right? Who were in Gujarat, who lived in Gujarat, who grew up in Gujarat, in India, in the fields, in their homes, whatever they were doing, the things that they sold and so on. There was not much change in their entire life. The only change that would have come in their life was probably electricity. So they changed from using the lamps and using the carousel things that they used to light their lanterns with, the oil lamps. They moved from there to electricity. That's probably the only big change they saw. A massive change. Which was, they saw the introduction, phenomenal change. In their lifetime. And I'm saying, the old generation, they can live without Wi-Fi, but they can't live without the wife. You understand that? So this new generation born in the internet, born into the Wi-Fi world, it's like if they go anywhere, the first thing is, where's the Wi-Fi? What's the number? What's the connection? I want the Wi-Fi. You give me no Wi-Fi, I have no life. Like, they're almost dead without Wi-Fi. And if I could, I would love to do this. I would love to take these kids, including my kids. I'm starting with my kids first. I would love to take them and do what my father did to me in 1986. Talking about a long time back. 1986. One day, Dad decided, I'm taking my kids, all of them, to the village in Bangladesh where he grew up, where, he had it rough and tough there. He said, I'm taking all my kids, gonna take them there, no electricity. We had lanterns, we had lamps, we had no gas, we had cooking done with wood, fire stick, the wood that you chop and then create the fire. We had toilets outside the house under a thicket of trees where jinns were like residing as well. My God, you got your tarbiyah done, boy. And guess what he did? He dumped us there for 1 year. No water from bottles, no way. Dad said you drink from what the local people drink. We had everything that went through the system. Parasites and everything to the whole system. You wouldn't have recognized me. I was down to the bones. Forget coronavirus. I had the worst thing you could imagine, right? Went through all of it, and guess what happens after that? Then you get used to it. 4 months was the worst thing. My God, you took the local water, they bathe in there, they drink, they wash the dishes in there, they wash the clothes in there, and then you got to take the water, you got to drink it. And we drank it, and guess what, man? My God, your whole system was going through a revolution, if you like, right? It was, you were going through a coma standing up. By the time we finished, 4 months, then you got used to it, you became like the locals. You could drink from that water, nothing happens to you. You eat from their food. You learn how to, live a life. And guess what? This is a place without electricity, my friend. There's no electricity here. So the only thing you did is that you went around the villages and you said, uncle, how are you? Auntie, how are you? You went from door to door. This is proper Gujarat, mate. This is back in the days. Am I, some of you are old enough to know what I'm talking about. Am I ringing a bell with what I'm talking about? Yes? The whole community knew who you were, where you went, what you did. Everything was there in the open. Everyone went in everyone's houses. The doors were open all day. It's like you had no secrets. We lived there like a year. Then we came back. My dad brought us back here in 1987. I did suffer a bit in my education at that time. Alhamdulillah, made up for it later on. But the best thing was that experience I had over 1 year, I'll never forget it in my life. But it made me appreciate what I had here in this country. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wish I could take you lot, dump you in the middle of India where there's no electricity, keep you there for a month, and then you change. Wish I could do that, but I can't, right? I can't do that. You guys won't allow me to take your kids like that. No. Him mar jayenge. Marenge nahi. Is zinda hokar aayenge. They won't be dead. They'll be alive and come back. Trust me. You know the first thing that happened when we came back to Heathrow Airport? The air in England was like, man, that is refreshing without the cow's dung. Without flies in your face, mosquitoes at night buzzing around and trying to drink. You know the first thing that happened, you go over there, right? They know how to find the guy from England. The mosquitoes are so clever. My God, they know all the local Bengalis and not him, not him. And they all go straight for you. Until your blood becomes like their blood. After 4 months, they're not sucking your blood anymore. Like Iskandar kuch baki nahi hai. We've rinsed the guy. There's nothing left inside him. Second thing that what I appreciated when I came back is the water here. I thought, wow, this is a massive gift. The water, the clean water we've got here that you can just drink straight from the tap. I know when you go back to India, even now, it's not like that anymore. You go to India now, you've got electricity there, you've got the TVs in the house, you've got the equipment in the house, you've got your modern houses, fridges and whatnot. We never had no fridges, nothing there. You cooked on the day, you ate on the day, and that's it. You never left anything overnight because you knew it would go off by tomorrow. If you had anything extra, you shared it with the neighbors, khalas. But it's a wonderful life. You know the kids say to us today, they say, how did you live in the days without internet? We're kind of looking at them saying, how are you dead right now with the internet? These kids are like half zombies and don't even realize it. Guys, let me tell you how it is, because it's about to get more. I don't know if you're awake or not. Look, we're not saying ban everything, take all these things away. We're not saying that. But the kids have to understand what world they're in and what they're going to face. And for us, the challenges are going to become greater. There was a time when people were hooked onto just a television. They were hooked onto videos. Then they were hooked onto the satellites. They were hooked onto the video games that came out. Now people are hooked onto their individual smartphones. In the 70s and 80s, ulama did their best here to try and say television is haram and don't watch it and don't have it in your house, whatever. My friends, We have got per household now, we've got about 11 to 12 televisions. You're going to say to me, ye kahan se ye baat kar rahe ye to galat hai. No, I'm not, no galat, mate. I'm going to prove it to you right now. We've got about 11 to 12 televisions in every single house. You're going to say to me, ye bakwas bol rahe hai, talking rubbish, get him out of here, we're not going to call him back. Let me prove it to you. Your television in your house is a television. People normally have 2 televisions in the house. They might have a 3rd television in the house. And when you say television, you're talking about those big inch screens, right? 40 inches, 46 inches, whatever, you got them in your house. That's starters. Nobody barely watches them anymore. Now you got your iPads, you got your tablets. Every single one of them is a television. Tell me yes or no. Come, I got 3 guys talking, yaar. Gujarati mein baat karna hai kya? Let me say to you, tell me, those tablets that can play YouTube and your kids can select what YouTube channel they want to go to, what YouTube videos they want to look at, tell me the truth. Is that not a television, yes or no? It's a television. Television vision means that vision is to see, tele is to see from a distance. They're seeing that from a distance, but it's in one way, they're now choosing what they want to watch. You've got about 2 or 3 tablets in the house. Then, on top of that, you've got laptops, you've got personal, computers. Those are televisions. You can play Google videos, YouTube videos, you can play BBC iPlay on those are televisions. Then every person has got minimum 1 smartphone to them. Now you count all of them up in your house. How many have you got? 11 to 12, 13. Am I not right? Yes or no? Guys, come and speak to me, please. Am I right? No, yes or no? Don't you say to me, Maulvi Sahab, hamare ghar mein koi television nahi hai. I'm like, my friend, television is in your pocket right now. If you've watched YouTube on your phone just once, any video on your phone, that's television. You're selecting, you can select. Now, you might say to me, nay, what? I'm going to disagree with you. Everything is available. More is available for you to watch on a smartphone and a tablet than what's on the screen. The screen is now restricted. The screen, if they put something on the actual television, you have to wait till that finishes. Your handheld device, you can stop it, you can choose, you can move on to the next one. In fact, artificial intelligence now is going to give you the things you like. Tell me it's true or not that once you start going to Facebook videos, or you go to Instagram videos, or you go to YouTube videos, as soon as you've watched one video, the next video is going to be something you actually want to see. Yes or no? How did they work that out? Artificial intelligence. Because the computers work out, okay, he watched this video for this many minutes, he stopped at this minute and scrolled on to the next one, which means the likeliness of him liking these other videos go to this many percent. Within split seconds, these computers, because your smartphone is actually a computer. It's a computer in your hand and it's connected to the internet. There are algorithms that are working in the background of these huge stations have got. YouTube has got algorithms behind it, Facebook has got algorithms behind it, Instagram has got algorithms behind it, and they are working within the split second what kind of next videos you're gonna like. So if you've watched like certain videos, certain types, it's now got multiple videos and each one you're actually gonna wanna watch, and they will carry on, putting that as the next thing you wanna watch, the next thing you wanna watch. Guys, we have gone beyond what it was yesterday. It's no longer whether you've got a TV in your house. Everyone now has got 13 TVs in the house. Now the thing is, how do we move along in our world and day and age without allowing these things to control our lives? Because we've already entered a stage where people are addicted. If you're telling me you're not addicted, I'm going to tell you to actually prove it to me. There's ways to prove you're not addicted to your smartphone, to your tablets, to your laptops, to your whatever it is that's calling you, and you have to watch it or you have to play the game. Another one is like, forget these things. Now the PS4 and Xbox One is like, It's like for some boys that are sitting here, that's like, whoa, that's the thing I'm after. Forget your little things, forget that, I'm after that. That's my number one station. Now they've got addiction there, but don't think as an adult you haven't got addiction. Tell me this, your kids come from school, they come home, if they see you on your smartphone and you're scrolling on your phone, you're actually disengaged from them and you're engaged with your smartphone. If they watch you 2 to 3 hours within the time they've come from school, so they come from school 4 o'clock or 3:30, they go to sleep at 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Between that time they've got about 6 hours they're going to be with you. In those 6 hours, if you're on your phone for 2 hours or 3 hours, or if you're on different devices, some TV, some phone, some tablet, whatever, you're actually disengaged from your children for that number of hours, and you are addicted. You're going to say, "Nahi Maulvi Sahab, kya bol rahe hain? Main to addicted nahi hu." Okay, then do this for me. Go on. I'll give you a challenge. My challenge is this. How long can you not pick up one of these devices, not look at one of these devices? How long can you go for? That's the challenge to you. Is it going to be, let's start with hours. How many hours can you go without it? And then how many days can you go without it? Tell me this. Is anybody here that's actually switched off from all these devices for about 10 days to 2 weeks because they were either in Umrah or I'tikaf, or they were in Hajj, or they were in a country somewhere where they thought, you know what, I'm putting it away. Anyone done that? Put your hands up. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We've only got about 7-8 hands. La hawla wa la quwwata. Anybody who's done that would realize what switching off is. Switching off is you don't have anything, any contact. Guys, some of you are looking depressed at this moment as I'm speaking. I'm talking about something very serious, guys. If your telephone demands your time, and I'll tell you what happens, right? There's a number of apps that you've got that are calling you. WhatsApp is calling you. It's like, hey, dekhta nahi, hey, dekhta nahi, kya ho gaya tujhe? Main idhar hu. I'm here, look at me. WhatsApp is seen and looked at several times in the day. You're scrolling through messages. And it's a demand because of the people that are sending you messages. And because it's mufat. Mufat, free. What do you say free in Gujarati? How do you say? Mufat. Mufat mein chhe. Wa jo mufat mein chhe na, oh, khub lena hai. Isko khub lo. Because WhatsApp is free, people are going on there again and again and again. And you know what? In a day, people are spending 2 hours, 3 hours without realizing it. Just on WhatsApp. You know what I've done? I want to share something with you. I have a lot of contacts. I tried not to give my number out, but people end up getting my number and so on, fine. I have banned more than 50 people on my WhatsApp. You're going to say, why? Kya ho gaya Mullah sahab? Ban kar diya? Haan, ban kar diya. Who are they? Local musallis. Local musallis jo masjid mein aate hain, I've banned 50 more of them. You're going to say, Mullah sahab, bada sakht hai, you're very, very, strict. No, because they're sending me lagatar messages. Like 7 a day, 5 messages a day. This video, that video. Oh, one next thing, let's look at China. Let's look at the market. Look what they eat. They're eating bats over there. What have I got to do with that, my friend? You want me to sit there, watch, right, they're eating bats, yeah, oh, the bats, oh, yeah, they're taking mice and they're eating them, throwing them in there, oh, yeah, that's where the coronavirus came, yeah. You think I'm interested in that? Then I'm going to look at your videos, then you're going to send me, oh, koi tha, koi kuch tamasha kar diya, done something silly. So I'm going to see that, right? Too many videos on that. They're going to show me something that's happened in somewhere in Pakistan, Bangladesh, India is happening over there. Then some big riot that's happening. Some guy, had his car stolen. You're going to send me that. Oh, watch this. Some guy had his shop robbed over there. Oh, watch that. What do you think? I am a muppet? Yeah, kya yaar, honestly, am I sitting here just to watch all your videos that you sending me? Tell me this, honestly, tell me this. Because I know most people are in this. Most people are hooked on this for this reason. Mufat mein chhe aur ye bej rahe like there's no tomorrow. They're sending you, and you know what? One guy thinks, I'm only sending you 3 videos. When 20 guys send you 3 videos each, how many videos is that? 60 videos in a day. Ya Allah. And I've got to watch all that and give you feedback and smiley, lol, lamo, I'm dying laughing, just to keep him happy. I'm going to make it there clue. If I see it and I don't give a reply, the guy's going to be, hey, why didn't you reply? What's wrong with you? This and that. Then he sends me an emoji with an angry face. Forget that. I'm going to block you, mate. I don't want to know who you are. I'm serious. I've actually done that. Local Musallis then said to me, Moni Sahib, aapko maine wo bheja tha. Oh, I've sent you that video. Did you see it? He said, what video? He said, no, the one I said. I said, mate, you're blocked. He's like, Moni Sahib, aapne mujhe block kiya? Haan, maine block kiya. After you block him, I said, you're wasting my time. Straight on, you're wasting my time. Then 3 months later, I unblock him. Uske to thoda sa islah to hona chahiye. Guys, are you with me, yes or no? Yes, I'm not going to block him forever. I'm going to 3 months, he's getting nothing through me. 3 months later, I open up. Then I wait to see what he does. If he sends me all these messages, wasting my time, then I'm going to block him again. A number of them, I block him again, second time. If he doesn't, if he stops, alhamdulillah, now we have a relationship. If you got something important to send me, and it's really important, then please send me. Guys, we've all got 24 hours in the day. Let me tell you how it's broken. You've got 24 hours in the day, 7 hours goes into sleep. How many you got left? It's not rocket science, yaar. Come on, yaar. How many you got left? Some are doing ikhtilaf right now. He's 17, he's 18, he's 16, he's 17. Yaar, ikhtilaf, yaar. Is pe kya? Maths mein ikhtilaf kya, yaar? How many you got? 17 hours left. Of the 17 hours that you got left, right? 1 hour is going to be wudu, stinja, toilet, this, that, out, whatever, face, this, that, all that. 1 hour is gone. How many you got left? 16. Out of the 16, 1 hour is going to go on food, with your breakfast, with your lunch, with your whatever, whatever. 1 hour is gone. How many you got left? 15. Out of the 15 hours you got left, you're probably going to spend working probably 8 hours. How many you got left? Or studying for 8 hours? How many you got left? You got 7 left. Out of the 7 hours that you got, your salah and all of that, ibadah is going to be 1 hour in the holiday. How many you got left? 6 hours. Out of the 6 hours, now the 6 hours you've got, if you're lucky to have the 6 hours, now you've got to spend family time. You've got to spend time doing something for your kids. You've got to spend time with your local people. You've got to spend time with reading a book maybe. You've got to spend time with catching up. Let's say just even catching up on proper news and so on. That's going to take you another couple of hours, 3 hours, whatever, right? And it's with kids. You should actually be spending like 3-4 hours with them if you can. Let's just think with them, being with them, asking them things. Even if it's playing a game with them, whatever. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, do that. When I say playing a game, I mean a physical board game. Or a game that you're interacting with them. I'm not talking about you with a joystick, him with a joystick. Say, yeah, Papa, we're playing, Papa. No. Because there's no eye contact there. There's no actual real interaction there. I actually have maybe 20 to 30 board games in my house. Real board games in my house. Don't ask me what they are. Alhamdulillah, all halal, brothers. All halal, bismillah, all halal. My kids ask me, can we play this board game? Can we play that board game? Can we play that? And I say, yes, okay. We're going to play at 8 o'clock. Do your homework. Is there any time for them to do the homework? They might spend some time with me. There's educational apps. There's educational things that they might spend some time with me. There's books that they might read. Okay, fine, you read your books and so on, right? And then we're going to play some games. We're going to have food together. We'll have dinner, whatever. But there's going to be a time when they actually play. Monday to Friday in my house, all electronics are banned, except for homework. Monday to Friday, all electronics are banned. And it's a wonderful thing me and my wife did. And we did this because in the beginning we started differently. We allowed them 1 hour here, 1 hour there to engage. You know what that does? That messes your system up. Messes them up. I tell you why. They come home, if you allow them to switch the TV on, or they go into the tablets, they go into something and they're watching something, or they're playing something, or you give them the PS4, or you give them the Xbox One. What's happening right now, I don't know if you guys actually know what's happening. They are having stimuli certain chemicals released in their brains because they're now moving the next level. I did that, I survived that, I killed him, I shoot him, I built that, I'm doing it. And he's talking to his friends, I got him, I shot him, I got you, don't tell her, oh man, you let me down. So they're having so much stimuli in their brain right now. It's everything. Look at this, right? What's happening? His world is moving, man. He's looking, he's controlling his world. He's moving right, he's moving left. There are trees over there, hide in that tree, get in that bush, pick that up, go over there, run. Get into that hotel, get into that jet, do this, do that. His whole world is moving, he's engaged. He's talking to someone else, of his cousins, whatever, in another house through the internet system. Like, how much interaction is going on? He's enjoying it, then he got out of the game, he got into another game, he's moving. The time's flying like anything. This boy hasn't got the time to pee. True or not, guys? They come to the maktab, they need to go to the toilet 5 times. They play PlayStation for 5 hours, they don't go once. Lastminute.com, when it's not gonna burst, he just takes his thing off from his headphone down, he just runs to the toilet, right? May Allah have mercy on us. May Allah make it come into the toilet, not anywhere else, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just about does it, comes back, what? Then what? You know what happens? Tell me this, yeah? He comes from school, you put it on for 1 hour, he's had all the stimuli in his brain, everything that's going on. Then you tell him to switch off, go to the maktab, switch off, do your homework, switch off, read book. You know what happens after that? He switches off. This is what he sees, switches off. He looks around. These wolves are not moving. Nothing's moving. Oh yaar, it's a boring world. Yaar, people are not moving. Yaar, I need to talk to him to talk back to him. Yaar, kya ho gaya yaar? You understand where I'm coming from? This guy's life is boring. He looks at a textbook. After that, it's like, man, the words, I have to read them. Oh my God. You know, he has to use his own brain now to read this, to understand it. No stimuli in the brain, nothing moving, no lights, no colorful action, no sound, no music, and nothing like that. He's doing all that. You know what you've just done there? You've activated a part of his brain that's dancing inside, that's on fire. Suddenly, you tell him to study, he can't study. In fact, tell me this true or not, once you switch these games off, your boys in your house start fighting with one another. True or not? Yes or no right now? Thank you. You know why? Because there's so much stimuli. They're like, there's nothing moving. Okay, I'll make you move. Yeah, come on, let's go for you. They start play fighting, then they're going to real fight, and it's like, you know, then they got anger, they got moods coming out. It's like, why? Because they're like, oh, man, I want to get back there, I want to do that. You know what that is, guys? That's addiction. You're addicted to your smartphone. She's addicted to her smartphone. Some of them are addicted to those, TVs with the Indian movies. True or not, guys? I know we have to talk about this in the masjid. If I don't talk about it here, where are you going to hear it from? From your wife? You guys understand? Some of them, they're hooked onto, they have to have a film a night. Now guys, tell me, you've only got 6 hours left. If someone's going to send you these WhatsApp messages, videos after videos, then you got like all these things to worry about and games and this and that, then you got a film to watch, you got to move to, where is the akhirah? Where is it? Guys that, you know what they're doing? They come home, they will just wind down, take the clothes off, have meal, go straight to the phone. They're even looking at the phone while they're having the meals, right? They forget that, they're in the toilet looking at it, right? They're in outside of there, they just can't stay away from it. They've only got a few hours in the evening, forget the kids. I'm talking about parents here, okay? They engage with all of this, watch a movie, this and that. His eyes are killing him, he should be going to bed, and he actually drops off while he watches all of that. Next morning he has to get up straight away and go straight to the bathroom, wash himself up and go to work. My friend, why are you torturing yourself like this? And tell me this, yeah? The day when you wake up, and there's no more PlayStation, there's no more Xbox, there's no more smartphones, there's no more telephones, there's no more internet, because you're in a place that is 6 foot by 3 feet. You're in a place there deep down, 6 foot down. And that day you wake up, and now it's like, what have I done for my akhirah? what is going to be the reaction? A lot of people are going to wake up, they say, yeah. They'll send la'na on WhatsApp. They'll be sending la'na and curse on PS4 and Xbox One. It's all that time. Look, I'm not saying it's haram, guys. Please don't get me wrong. These things are there. But if we don't have our own control over these things will control you. And a lot of people are addicted without even knowing they're addicted. I've given this challenge out. Can you go 3 days without all this technology? Tell me this. Answer. Anyone put their hands up? Can you go 3 days without touching any device? No one's putting their hand up. Anyone? Any? Marka beta? Anyone? Come on. Right? No? No one. You're not even ready for that. It's so nice to switch it all off. I do sometimes. Sometimes you switch it off. In fact, people ring me. I have a policy. And I want you to understand this policy. I'll tell you why it is. Before, when back in the days, when you had to go and see someone, when the internet wasn't even around, when the telephones weren't even around, you had to walk all the way to that guy's house. You had to knock on his door, and you had to ask whether he's inside. Do you guys remember that in the 80s, early 90s? Well, 80s there was still telephone, landlines. Let's talk about the 70s, all right? Or the beginning of the 80s, when only some people had a telephone in the house. Do you guys remember that, yes or no? Yes, some of you remember that. That's great. Then comes a time when you pick up the landline, you have to tell him, look, I want to come to your house. You make an appointment, then you go to his house, then you see him. Now what's happened is they just WhatsApp you. Or they don't even bother telling you. It's like they're texting or contacting you all the time. I'm like, listen, you have no right over my life and to dominate my life with all of these communications. You don't. And if I want to keep you switched off, you send me a message, I know. It's there. I'm going to go to my message when I have got the time. One of the biggest things we need in this day and age is self-discipline. If you don't have self-discipline, my friend, you are finished. Halak, you are finished. Why? Because you're destroying yourself. You're addicted. You can't get away from these things. Messages are coming in. You can't block anyone. You can't tell anyone no. And then they send you so many messages. You're busy. You're busy again. You're busy again. The people from India contacting you. People over here contacting you. You got people from your work contacting you. You got people from your community contacting you. People from your masjid contacting you. Your friends are contacting you. Your family contacting you. My God, they're contacting you. You got no time for yourself. Where are your kids? Your kids then get into another life. They're into a life where, you know what a lot of parents do? They use these devices as lullabies. It's a bad thing to do. Please take my message. Don't use these things as lullabies. Some parents are like, Alhamdulillah, I give him my telephone and he's so quiet. 2-year-old kid, 1.5-year-old kid, he knows how to swipe the thing. I've seen it. He knows how to swipe. He takes his dad's thing. Now he's eating. They think, oh, it's a nice thing. When he's eating, a 2-year-old, when he's eating, just put the telephone, or put the tablet in front of him, right? He's watching something, he's engaged. And while his brain is like being mesmerized, with jadoo ho gaya, like he's looking at YouTube, right? You quickly stuff his mouth with all the food. You're causing damage. Serious damage. Why? The kids at that age shouldn't even be exposed to this stuff. They shouldn't be. There's no need. And a lot of parents, what they're doing? They're giving these devices to keep the children quiet. You know what you're doing? You're damaging the kids seriously. I tell you why. When I was young, and we had to go, let's say we had to go for a 30-minute journey in a car. We sat in a car in the back, and mashallah, alhamdulillah, there was no limit to how many people could sit in the back in those days. You know what I'm saying? Dad sat at the front, some driver at the front, mum and the whole ummah in the back. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you sat there, no devices, nothing. Guess what we had to do? We had to sit there, we just looked out the window. We looked out the window, the whole journey, you couldn't say anything because Dad would turn you into a flat sheet of paper with one hand, you know what I'm saying? So you sat there, and what we did, we just counted the bridges, looked at the trees, looked at the cars, that's it. We were bored, but you know what? That was very exciting. You just sat there, you just looked at it. There were times when we went to relatives' houses, right? We sat there, we had to sit there for 2 hours. The elders were there. You sit down, you're doing nothing, absolutely nothing. They're discussing their stuff, you sit there, you're bored. But you know what? You know what he did? I tell you one big thing he did. Boredom is a massive, massive asset to have. Because once you're bored and you're able to take boredom, you're actually developing sabr and patience. Yes or no, guys? Now guys, yes or no? Come on, talk to me. Yes. You know what? Sabr is one of the biggest assets in life that you need. These kids, because they've had a device given to them, they're not getting bored. Or you go to a wedding hall, they're giving their devices to the kids. You see, he's the kid sitting there. I'm thinking that's damage. Because those kids need to learn how to sit there with adults getting bored, doing nothing, maybe running around. I don't care, you run around the wedding hall. You're not getting no device. You go and find something to do. You go and talk to other kids. You run around, do what you like, but you're not getting a device. Why? Because you need to learn how to do this. Why are you going to say to me? Because when you grow up, my son or my daughter, and you find yourself bored with your husband or your wife, you find yourself bored. I don't want to hear you got problems in your house. You know where I'm coming from? These kids get married now, they want to get talaq tomorrow. Why? Because they haven't got the life they wanted. La ilaha illallah. Now can I please ask you lovely dads that are bringing all these princesses up, and the lovely mums that have got loads of princes in the house, and you're doing everything for them. My God. If you were to think about it, their clothes are ironed, their food is cooked, biryani on the table, but he still wants fish and chips, and he wants to have the chicken and chips. But anyway, lo and behold, Hazrat Walaji, who's your son, and Hazratni, which is your daughter, in your house, they grow up all the way to 24 years old. Because of the education, my daughter, you don't have to wash, you don't have to clean up. My son, you don't have to iron your clothes, you don't have to do anything. Just study and do what you like, because Papa's going to take care of all of that. And Mom's going to take all of all that. And they go through that with a nice hot showers, which they have for 45 minutes, going through all of that. And coming downstairs and having all the tablets and the things that they engage themselves in. And some few books and their education. And it's a lovely life. Up to the age of 24, they never had to struggle in life. They don't have to work in life, because Dad's going to work really hard. He's going to provide for you, and don't you worry about your future, because I've got an investment for you, and I'm going to pay for not only for your education, I'm going to help you to buy your own house. And you're not going to be like Papa, who had to struggle to buy his own house. I had to go through a lot to try and get my first few pennies and pounds, and then I had to go and get my mortgage out there, and I had to really suffer the first few years. I'm not going to let any of you kids do any of that. And then the nice little prince that you just made and the princess that you're creating, they're like, huh? I love you, Daddy. I love you, Mommy. And you know what you just done? You just messed their next 25 to 30 years. You killed it. Now Hazratni gets married to Hazrat. Prince gets married to princess. You know what I'm saying? Some other guy's princess, your prince, they get married together. He's like, okay, I want you to become like my mom. And she's like, I want you to become like my daddy. My daddy look after me. I don't like the sofas in this house. These sofas are made of fabric. My daddy always had leather sofas. We haven't been on a holiday for 3 years. Oh my God. My daddy used to take us on holiday every single year. And I don't like the fact that I have to get here and do all these things. And he's like, well, I don't like the fact that I have to struggle and do something right now. And guess what? They're having problems. They're having, their own disputes. They're like, you do it, you do it, yeah, you do it, you do it, you do it, you do it. Tom and Jerry in the house. Tom and Jerry in the house. Then they're like, he's texting his mom that, oh, she don't do this, she don't do that, she don't. She's texting, oh, I don't expect to become like this. I'm not an Indian girl from 1980s. I'm not from 1990s. I am my daddy's girl. And my daddy said, if anything goes wrong, I can just return back home. Then what happens? 2 years later, they can't save the marriage. They want to go for a divorce. They can't stay like this. Why? They've never struggled. What are you doing with your kids? Why are these kids not going through mashaqqa, difficulties, struggles, boredom? Why are they having life given to them on a plate so wonderful, everything prepared for them. It's almost like, it's like a 5-star life. When that girl goes to another house and she says, my daddy did this, my daddy, you don't give me that. If I was that husband, I feel like turning around and say, hey, listen, woman, I'm not your daddy, you know what I'm saying? I'm your husband. And guess what? If her husband is starting off, or let's just talk about the wife. They're starting off and, they never got the prince life or princess life. If you knew that there's a life of difficulty, you'll be fine. But when you've had a life where it's been so comfortable, you have to also understand that these people are going to start off with their own life. They have to pick up their own burden. They have to look after their own children. Guys, if we don't make them iron their clothes, if we don't make them wash dishes, if we don't make them hoover the house up, if you don't make them clean up, if you don't make them go and deal with certain things, like for example, he got hurt, she got hurt. You don't like, better come over here. How are you? He's a 10-year-old kid. You do that with a 2-year-old, I understand that. We've got now mums warming the food up for the son who's 17 years old in the house. She's taken the food out, she puts it into the microwave, she warms it up, puts it in front of him, puts the glass of water in front of him, and then she's like, yeah, I'm doing this for my son. Does that happen, yes or no? Come on guys, does that happen, yes or no? Why can't this kid do his own breakfast? Why can't they do that? Why can't they clean up after themselves? Why? I don't, what are you doing? Honestly, I want you to wake up right now. What are you doing? Because now, you know what's happened now? We've got a massive crisis on our hands. The crisis is, these kids, they've had a very, very comfortable life for 24 years, 25 years. And now they can't survive on their own. If you have children, I tell you this, right? The more difficulties these children will face. And when I say difficult, I mean, with appropriateness. I'm not saying like, make them like, I don't know, slaves in your house, right? But what I'm trying to say is that let them go through these stages where to know. Look, let me tell you what modern psychology says. And this is from real psychological research that's come out in the last couple of years, If your children are asking something from you, and they're saying to you, Papa, can I have this? Mama, can I have this? Mom, can I have that? Papa, can I have this? Dad, can I give me this? Please, 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 please. If 8 out of 10 times you say yes to your children of what they actually want, 2 out of 10 times you say no to your children, then your kids, according to modern psychological research done over the massive, this long research that's been done, is your kids will grow up to be miserable, they will be unthankful, they will be ungrateful, and they will feel sad inside, and they will feel like, you know what, it's not enough. And the same test says this: if you say to your children 8 out of 10 times for the extra things they want, I'm not talking about the necessities. Necessities like, they need a bed, they need this, they need a laptop for homework, they need, something, necessities. Okay, necessities is fine, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about extra things. Can I have this game? Can I buy this? Can I download this? Can you give me this? Can you buy me those trainers? Extra, those designer trainers. Can you buy me those clothes? Can you give me that necklace? Can you do the extra things that are, not the necessities? If 8 out of 10 times you say no to them, 2 out of 10 times you say yes to them, then the same psychological research says your kids will grow up to be thankful, they'll appreciate what they have, they will be happy, and they will have, inshallah, a joyful future. Are you going to say to me why? It doesn't make sense. You're going to say to me why? It doesn't make sense. I'll tell you why. Because of this. Imagine this, okay? Right? When you're going on to, let me just take an example that we would understand, okay? So, let's just talk about, do you guys still take your kids to India, yes or no? I feel like going home and saying, relax. Guys, I'm asking a question. Do you still guys take your kids to India, yes or no? Good. If you've ever taken your kids to India, if you say to them, look, kids, it's going to be comfortable out there. Don't worry about it. We're going to have air condition. We're going to be okay. The airport's going to be some, but don't worry. We're going to be on the plane. You get some, functions there. You have to use that. Don't worry. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try and make it comfortable for you. It's going to be 2-3 weeks out of there. When you're over there, don't worry. I'll try and give this out. If you make their expectations high, and if you say to them, don't worry, it's all going to be fine, you're going to enjoy this, you're going to find this, find out, you'll find your cousin, this, that, and you make the expectations high, and then they don't find those expectations, they're going to start complaining, yes or no? Yes, even Hajj, when you go for Hajj, if someone says to you that Hajj, don't worry, everything's going to be all right, we're going to go together, we're going to have wonderful Hajj and all that, they pump you up and Umrah and so on, and you go out there, you don't find, as it was advertised to you, you're going to be miserable. You're going to not find taqwa. But if the same thing was reversed, you tell your kids, you're going to go to India, hey guys, I'm going to take you to India, look, it's not going to be that comfortable, you have to go. You're going to have to go, you're going to learn these things, it's part of your experience, part of your life. You might not get air conditioning, you're going to have, it's going to be hot out there, some mosquitoes, but you know what? That's part of life. I want you to, go through this. You tell them all these things are going to happen, and you kind of make it like, yeah, and you're going to be without your showers in your houses. You're going to have to bathe with a bucket and a jug and put that over your head and so on. You tell them all of that, raw as it is. Or you go to Hajj and they tell you, look, you're going to find beds that are not going to be comfortable, no air condition. If you're going there for Allah's sake, you're going to do sabr out there, you're going to be walking for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you're going to get blisters on your feet and do sabr for the sake of Allah. You talk about Ibrahim alayhi salam, you talk about the sacrifices he's done, you talk about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you talk about the fasting sacrifice they done, and you say, look, they went through a lot of pain, they had no air conditioned tents, and you're going to at least have some kind of air conditioned tents in Mina. You tell them all of that, their expectations are low, and then they go over there, then they find a little bit of comfort. They find, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. They're going to come happy by finding that, you know what, you've got some facility. It's not bad as they said. Yes or no? That's the problem that you've just done with your kids. If you set the bar high, while they're young, you're trying to tell them this is what your life's going to be. 8 out of 10 times, my son, you wish for something, you're going to get it. You're almost in Jannah. Because in Jannah, you wish for anything, you get it, right? 10 out of 10. Okay. Yes or no, guys? Come on. 10 out of 10, you want something, you just wish for it and it comes to you. You're saying, well, you're a kid, I'm going to take you near Jannah. I'm going to take you to 8 out of 10. So my son, my daughter, prince and princess, I'm going to ask you whatever you need, just tell me your wish is my command, and it's going to be 8 out of 10. Their expectation bars are high. As soon as they get married or they have an independent life or they go on their own, then that bar can never be met with another person. That bar they can't uphold independently, true or not? So therefore it drops down to something like, 4. And they're like, 4 out of 10 times things I want to get when I'm 18 years old, when I'm 25 years old, that's what I get in life. Oh my God, the bar was set at 8, I thought that was what life was about. And then they become miserable. They have no appreciation for things. They have a hole in their heart. It's like they're not getting enough in life. But you know what? If you set the bar of 2 out of 10, you gave them what they wanted 2 out of 10. 8 out of 10 times they got rejected with the things that they wanted. And then in life, when they're 18 or 25, they're getting stuff 4 out of 10. Is that not progress, yes or no? Can you now understand what's happening? Yes? Let me tell you the truth. When I was young, and all the people of my age who are in their 40s, and they were young, our dads never gave us toys. They never gave us most of the stuff. Honestly, most of the things we wanted, we never got it. We just saw them in the Argos catalogue. And we just saw them. We dreamt of playing with them. We imagined how it would be to have this game that Charlie has in his house and Tom has in his house. He talked about that game. And I saw him in the playground. He bought that little car which I don't have, and I can't even ask anymore because I can't be bothered. But I can just imagine how wonderful it would be one day to have a life where you could have these toys. And we grew up like that. But you know one thing? We grow up, and alhamdulillah, we're not miserable people. We appreciate life. We appreciate what we've got. We've got hamd, we've got thana, we've got shukr, we've got appreciation. Whatever little I've got, you know what, I look at it and think, this is my Jannah. I've got a small house, 3-bedroom, whatever. Wow, this is my own thing. This is a gift of God. But if I was one of those kids that got everything on the plate, my God, it would be a miserable life to go through. I'm asking you to please think about what you're doing. I'm going to go one step now. Tell you this. The rules in your house that you set, whatever rules that you set in your house, I want you to think, are you, because what happens is there's two people that are setting these rules. There's a mother and there's a father. If both of you don't have and share the same rules, there's going to be trouble. Because the kids will play one parent against another parent. And sometimes you get it right. The mom and dad are equal in their application of rules in the house. So what happens is, if he goes to mom and says, Mom, dad didn't allow this. Well, your dad said, no, you can't get it. Dad, mom, well, your mom said, no, you can't get it. It's like, there's someone I can go to. That's my grandpa. Grandpa, grandma, subhanallah, dadaji, dadiji, right? You go up to the grandpa, grandma, and grandpa are like, yeah, we just gonna be dying anyway soon, so we might as well spoil these kids. No, you don't. Please, no, you don't. Because what you're doing is you're causing damage. You had it hard with your kids when you were bringing your kids up. Now don't spoil it for them. Because that's another avenue they can go through to try and, find that little place to get something that they shouldn't have. I'm asking you to actually think of this future that you're developing. And the rules need to be set with both you and your wife, and you stick to your rules. There shouldn't be this and that. Mom is soft, dad is strict. Or dad's a soft one and mom is strict. Some households have that. And it messes things up for the kids. Because they think, well, we'll get away with it, mom, but we know we can't get away with dad. And then they have a double life. And you don't want that. What do you want to do? I'll tell you one thing you want to do, guys. And I've been here in Blackburn for the last couple of days. MashaAllah, alhamdulillah, you've got a lot going on here. You have apparently 50 masjids in Blackburn, subhanallah. MashaAllah, 50 masjids in Blackburn. Takbir. Wow, you guys are mashaAllah, alhamdulillah. But, I'll be honest with you, having masjids and having buildings is not the end of the world. Wow, you guys are mashallah, alhamdulillah. But, I'll be honest with you, having masjids and having buildings is not the end of the world. I'll tell you why. These buildings are here, mashallah, you've got a lovely masjid here. If you want the future generation to come inside this masjid, we've got to work very hard on them. These kids are not interested in the masjids. Why? Because we've got a lot going on. And I'm going to tell you a few things that are in my heart. We've messed certain things up for the system that's been going on for the last 40, 50 years. And I want to talk to you about it because I don't think any scholar is going to come and talk about some of these things. I can say it because I'm an outsider. I don't have to be invited by you again. I'm going to tell you the truth. There's certain things we messed up. And we're doing this year in, year out, and we don't care. One of the things is, we've got the masjids, we've got massive, masjids, we've got wonderful buildings, we've got lovely, facilities for people to come, pray, do wudu and all of that. But for the children, we've made a system that they will come to the maktab, which is fine, we all have maktab systems. If you don't have, and I'm telling this to the whole masjid, and this is my thing for the whole country, I'm not just saying to your masjid, guys, please forgive me. I've said this up and down the country. You're not the only masjid I'm going to say this. समझ में बात आ गई? भाई साथ आदमी बोलेंगे तो फिर मुझे खौफ लगेगा कि शायद इधर से ही कुछ लग जाएगा. Guys, can I ask you a question? Have you understood what I'm trying to say to you? I've said this up and down the country. And we need to change something because we're losing the next generation. I tell you how we're losing the next generation. I'm going to tell you from a kid's point of view. The kid goes to school. He comes home. His parents say, you've got to go to the maktab. So he goes to the maktab. He's 5 years old, 6 years old. He starts learning the kalimas and du'as and all of that. And his parents are, mashallah, mashallah, very better, mashallah, mashallah, usko kalimat hai, uska yata, surah hai, uska yata, oh, mashallah, mashallah. They're like, mama. I don't know why you're saying mashallah, alhamdulillah so much. Because kids at that age will do anything you show them. They like to copy you, like they get so excited. 4-year-old kid, mashallah, मैं जब मुसल्ला को वहाँ रखता हूँ तो मेरा वो छोटा सा 4 साल का वो आकर टोपी और वो अल्लाह अकबर कहता है, oh माशा. Why are you getting so excited? If you sit there and you if you pick your nose, then the kid will do that with you. He'll pick his nose. If you style your hair, he'll be styling his hair. If you basically do musalla, put a musalla out there, you do your salah, he's going to do exactly the same thing. Because kids Allah's put a system inside them, they will copy whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter what you do, they'll copy you. MashaAllah is if the same kid at 14 can put the musalla out and do his prayer without you telling him. Guys, are you with me, yes or no? MashaAllah is when he's 24, she's 24, and then they're praying independently. That's job done. Don't you get excited at 4. I've had my kid doing that. All my kids did that because they just want to, you know what they want? They want smiling from you. They want you to say, oh, give them a kiss, give them attention. Oh. They love the attention. They don't know what this all is. They're like, Dad, does he? I'm doing it. They don't know, subhanallah, the aqidah is not there, none of that. They don't know about Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's going to develop later on. Anyway, let's move on. You bring him to the maktab, he comes to the maktab. You teach him all these du'as, he learns the du'as. You take him to the system, he knows the system there. I'm going to go there 5 o'clock, I'll come out at 7 o'clock, I'm going to go inside there, I'm going to do this. Then soon he learns the reason why you're sending him. And you know what we did with our system? We made a system, and I'm asking you, because I've said this in my Bengali communities. I'm a Bengali, I've gone in my Bengali communities, I've gone in the masjids, and I've said this in the masjid, from the mimbar, in front of the imams, in front of the committee members. And it's something we really have to talk about. So I'm here in a Gujarati masjid. I'm saying to you guys from India, you've done a wonderful job. You had a maktab system from India. You guys are sabiqun al-awwalun. You're the leaders of the maktab system in this country. And you started the maktab system. You brought it with your ulama in the 70s. And you established it throughout. May Allah give you a reward for that. Say Ameen. But there's something gone wrong in the process. What's gone wrong is, in India, if you have kids going to the maktab and all they learn is how to read the Quran, that's all they learn. They learn a few masail, few things about namaz, few aqaid, ta'lim al-haq, a few things done, right? In India, at that time, 50 years ago, there's not much that can go wrong. Because the kid, all day he's surrounded by uncles and aunties and dadas and dadis and neighbors are all Muslims and everyone, adhan is heard from the masjids and everyone's wearing white clothes and jummas are there and bayans are there and it's a whole Muslim environment. So in India, you give them 2 hours of maktab a day, just Quran, and you give them just the salah, masail, ta'limul haq, something simple, done. You at 12, 11, leave the maktab. The rest of his life, insha'Allah, none of them are going to leave Islam. In India, where guys? Blackburn Sharif. In Blackburn, what happens? In London, what happens? In Birmingham, what happens? In Leicester, what happens? In Batley, what happens? In all these places, you know what happens? These kids are in a different world. They're not in India. Can you please address what it is? So let me tell you how it works. You here, you set up the maktab system. The kids come over here. You said, "Haan, bhai, hamara sare zindagi aise kat rahe the, hum aise bhi kar lenge. Koi baat nahi. Koi baat nahi. Humne bhi kiya, wo bhi kar lenge. Wo sara ho jayega." Like we did it. They do it. This and that. We have a system for 40 years, 50 years. No! Some of them are now going out of Islam. Why? Let me tell you what happens. They come to the maktab system over here, they go for 2 hours, same 2 hours that you had in India. They learn the Quran, how to read the Quran, they learn the masail, ta'lim al-haq, whatever it is, a few masail here and there, done. When they're 12, they leave. And you know what the kid does? The kid works out from the age of 8 or 9, oh man, I want to be home. I don't want to come to the masjid. I don't want to be here for 2 hours. I don't want to sit there and I don't want to do that. I want to just finish this. So he learns, you know what, the only way to escape this is to finish the Quran. Because my mom comes with a pram outside and said, "Mauli Sahib ji, meri jo Samina hai na, Samina ki jo ladka hai na, Samina ki ladka 10 पारा कर लिया, मेरे जो बेटा है उसने 7 पारा किया, वो 7 is doing 7 juz. They put pressure on the Maulvi Sahibs. The whole system is to finish the Quran and that's it. We're going to make them read the Quran, finish the Quran, few masail, do a few things. We've done this for the last 40, 50 years. Everything's going to be fine. No. At 12, you know what happens? MashaAllah, the masjid is buzzing. You go to the local mitai place, you get the mitai down, you call all your friends and you give the mitai out. Wonderful thing, oh my beta is going to sit at the front, he's going to read the last part of the Quran. The Maulvi Sahib is going to make dua for him. MashaAllah, I've made it. I give mitai to everyone, all my friends are happy. Guess who's more happy than you and your friends? Your kid is more happy than you and your friends. You know why? He's not coming back to Maktab tomorrow. At 12 he leaves. This was the age to keep them in the maktab, my friend. His hormones are kicking inside him. He's growing like a man right now. His Adam apple's gonna pop out. Like, it's gonna pop out. Now he's gonna go taller than you. He's feeling like he's becoming Incredible Hulk. He's like he's popping, he's getting angry, he's got emotions and she's got emotions out there. They don't know what they're doing, right? Now, the age when they're teenagers, when they've got fitna outside there, when they hear from their friends and social environment, all that, telling them that this is life, get this done, do this. But you know, the smartphone is in his hand, in her hand. Now they're making communication, now they're communicating with one another. Now was the time to keep them and do the tarbiyah. Guys, yes or no? Right, we made a massive mistake, and please, you're making a mistake. Why? This is not India. Please, I'm saying to you a third time, please, take it out of your minds. All committee members, all imams, all public that listen to this. This is not India. They have, you know what they've got right now? You're going to say, well, we survived this. Well, it's not the 80s, my God. My God, you think this is the 80s? You think this is the time when internet's not around? When there's just one TV box? Guys, if you had to go and get a video, you had to go out there in the 80s, go and find a blockbuster store, you had to go and hide from the musallis and others who are going to see you. You had to go inside there, okay, I'm going to go at this time, just 8 o'clock, before they shut down, everyone's gone for Isha, quickly go inside there, choose what you want, come out there, quickly hide it under your jacket, go home, watch it 24 hours, bring it back, find the time, you're going to quickly drop it off without anybody knowing. This is not the 80s, my friend. If in 80s someone was to make even a girlfriend or whatever, have a boyfriend, they had to make a lot of effort to try and make that work. A lot of effort. They had to drop notes, make contact, give something physical. She's like giving him dirty looks. Oh my God, I'm just dead right now. I can't do this right. Today it's simple, man. They download an app. She downloads an app. You don't even know they're in the house. She's upset. Sometimes they're sitting on the sofa right in front of your face and they're swiping this app, making contact, listening to one another, talking to one another while they're even having a chat with you. And you don't even know it. This is a different time, my friend. Let me tell you what one Imam told me just 2 weeks ago in Gloucester. Gloucester Sharif, that's another Sharif. MashaAllah, Leicester Sharif, Gloucester Sharif, Blackburn Sharif, Rati Sharif, Bolton Sharif. Or koi reh gaya? These are your Sharifs, right? We have to question Sharif. I'm very careful when I come to these Sharifs. मुझे बहुत डर लगता है कोई मुफ्ती ऐसा ना हो कि फतवा दे देगा क्या बात कर रहे हैं. And I'll basically have to run a few miles away from here. Guys, listen to me, yeah? This Imam in Gloucester said to me 2 weeks ago, the local Musalli came up to him and said, Imam Sahib, my son came up to me and said this, and my jaw dropped, and my whole jaw just dropped. I thought, Ya Allah, we've come to this right now. It's a Musalli, he comes to the Salah. He prays his salah in the masjid. His kid said to him, 12-year-old kid said, Dad, when I'm 18, I can become an atheist, right? The dad, one of your Gujarati dads, he turned around to the kid and said, where did you get that from? What are you saying? And the kid said, look, they told me in school, the religions that we've got right now, whatever they're teaching us at home, those religions, okay, fine, it's okay for now. But when I become 18, I can choose what I want to be. And if I want to choose to be an atheist, that's my choice. Guys, are you waking up? This is not India. You're losing the plot. If you don't get I'm going to tell you straight up, I've said this in my Bengali masjids, I've said this up and down the country, I'm going to tell you straight how it is. I'm telling you straight out, if you don't make a change in 10 years time, you've got a massive crisis. I mean, I went to America last 2 years. I've been 2 years going in and out. You know what? There's counted, from ulama, counted 24 huffaz in America that have huffaz, who've memorized the entire Quran. They've left the deen. 24. I was shocked. I'm like, are you telling me the truth? I said, yes. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's an amanat to you. You know, and I'm going to hope that your whole masjid, public, imams, committee members, and the other masjids, not just you. I want all the masjids to make this change. If you don't, guys, you are facing a massive crisis. Because these kids, they don't even know what madhab is. They don't know what Hanafism is. They don't know what any aqidah. They don't know any of that. These kids are hanging just about on Islam. And we've made a damage. Why? Because we're so happy the kid just finished the Quran and we just send him home and it's fine. When the kid needed to be there most at that age, we just sent him home. You know what I've done in my maktab in London? We've done this for 20 years. We have an induction with the parents and we tell the parents, your kid might finish the Quran with us, but he's never gonna, we're never gonna have a celebration of finishing the Quran. We'll have a graduation at the age of 15 or 16, but we're not gonna have a celebration for finishing the Quran. Why? Because a child should have two things. One is qira'ah, reading to the teacher, and one is tilawa, his own reading for his akhirah over and over again. True or not? Tell me. If you make it, my child's objective is, and my objective is, I want him to finish, I want her to finish the Quran once, from beginning to end. As soon as they finish that, they put the Quran on the shelf, they're gonna forget Arabic like most of you 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds have forgotten the Quran. You went to maktab and you forgot it, yes or no? Come on. A lot of people, I know you're not gonna admit to it, but a lot of people forgot. And because the system is such that we made it that you finish the Quran, you go home. What? In our maktab, in the south, by 12 they finish the Quran. Then every year we tell them to do tilawah in the home every week. They've got two sabaks. One sabak to the ustad, one sabak their own tilawah. Their own reading at home. You read every Ramadan, we encourage them to finish the whole Quran. Multiple children are finishing multiple Qurans from 12 to 16. Then at 15, 16, we give them graduation. Alhamdulillah, I'm not going to say all of them are doing this, but a number of them I'm in contact with them. Alhamdulillah, at 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, they're still reading a little bit of the Quran every single day. And they've got the attachment. Why? Because look, we put a system in there. I want you to actually go to look at what we've done with Safar Academy. I'm not here to pitch that, but I want you to just look at what we've tried to do. We try to do something for your own benefit to try and don't just look at what we've tried to do. Please open your eyes. I tell you what's happening. These kids, they go to maktab, they learn this stuff. They're not in India. Their whole neighbors, none of them they can visit. There's no dada here, there's no dadi here, there's no uncle, there's no neighbors they can visit. They go outside, there's no adhan in the streets, there's no Islam, there's no lectures, nothing. Unless you drag them to the masjid, they don't listen to Islam. Most of the school life is in school. They don't get no jum'ahs. They're not hearing any khutbahs. They're not being attracted to any of that. Then they've gone to college, they've gone to university. You put them in a college, university, they're in an environment with loads of different people, of nationalities, of cultures, of beliefs, right? Then they feel all of a sudden they have got so many attractions. They've now got the opportunities of drugs. They've got opportunities of their roommates in a college somewhere. They're drinking alcohol. They're sharing a house somewhere. Alcohol is in the fridge, okay? They're playing gambling on a Saturday night together. The college students are gambling together in a dormer. This is happening, guys, out there. This is real. And you send your kids to university, college, to a dormer somewhere away, and they've been exposed to all of this. First they might play as a laugh, then they get into it for real, then they start gambling a little bit, or they might turn to alcohol, or there might be girlfriends, there might be boyfriends, there's a life out there. I've had as an imam to talk to children after university, and now they're on the brinks of moving away from Islam. Why? For the last 4 years, he was sent to a university. He went there, he met a girl of what he liked. She was, non-Muslim, she was not his culture, he fell in love with her, she was, and there are multiple examples of this guys, multiple examples. Then he fell in love with her and he came home, he said he wants to marry her. Mom said, no, you can't get married, it's a single mother. And she said, you can't get married. After that he said, well, if I can't get married with her, I'm going to go away with her anyway. Forget that. In my area in North London, I've got 3 cases where the father is a local musalli coming in the masjid. Every salah almost is in the masjid. His sons, eldest sons are coming to the masjid. They come for Jummah. His younger son comes for Jummah as well. And then the younger son, you know what? He's not getting married, he's not getting married. They give him so many proposals, so many proposals, so many proposals. By the time he got to 31, he got to 32, you know, one day, you know what he said? He said to his brother, brother, I'm not interested in girls at all. I want you to understand, there's young kids here, I'm not going to go any further. I'm not interested in girls anymore. I've not been interested in them for the last 6, 7, 8 years. He's already active with a friend of his, right? He wants to go down that line. The family have come to me, there's 3 families come to me like this. They're saying, Imam, what do we do? Are you guys waking up? This is not India, my friend. The whole system has changed. If you don't give a solid system of maktab, you know, when you have the maktab, it's not about finishing the Quran. You want to find a syllabus that's going to go deep inside the roots of the iman. You've got to boost them with ahadith, with the Quran. You've got to keep them together. We've got to have suhbah and companionship of these kids. We've got to bring them in this environment. We've got to keep them active at home, at the masjid, in between, because they've been exposed to everything in the schools. The schools are telling them, the system out there in schools telling them, you are free to do whatever you want. It's your choice. And they got all the opportunities. Tell me this, how does this look, right? Go to the school, they're smiling. How are you? How are you? You're okay, young Patel? You're okay? You have had a nice day? A woman with blonde hair dropped down, right? We're showing part of the top part, if you know what I'm trying to say, like bending down to him saying, how are you, young Patel? Everything's okay. Yes, we can have a nice day. Get the pegs out, get the this out, get the that out, color this, color that, or all that. Oh, we're going to learn this today, we're going to learn that today. All that colorful, you know, wonderful teaching for years and years. And then during those years, he comes home. Papa's like, hey, Bejani, so much ticket, huh? Bejani. You know, you're saying like, you know, I know you need to have your rules in your house, I understand, right? Comes to the masjid, it's like, get this done, this done. So this is the world they see over there. They go over there, they see another world, right? He's making his own mind already. Guys, this is happening right now. He makes his own mind. By the time he gets 16, 18, he's thinking, I want to get independent. She's thinking, I want to get independent. Another thing that we've done is this. We've shifted the marriage age. We did that. I remember this, and I'm telling you on record, the first marital marital certificates that I was signing was in 1998. We're talking about 22 years ago. 22 years ago, the average age of a guy getting married to a girl was around, the girl was about 21, the guy was 22, maybe 23 maximum. That was the age. This was in 1998. Most of the marriages, the average age was that. Some got married at 20, some got married at 24, but the average age I was probably about 22. Then what happened is, in 2008 or something, I started noticing that the average marriage age for the groom and the bride that I'm signing off, when I look at the date of birth, is now shifted to 26 years of age. 26. Then today, when I'm signing those marriage certificates, the average age has shifted to 29, 30. Average age, someone getting married at 33, 34. Massive damage caused. And you know who created that? We created that. You know why? 25 years ago, if the boy had just finished college, we said we're ready to give our daughters. Yes or no? Yaar zinda ho yaar, ya kya hai yaar, bolo na. 25, 30 years ago, right? But let's look at the early 90s, or right, let's look at the end of the 80s. If the boy just finished college, because our girls never went to college that time. True or not? Come on, 16, the girl finished, she never went to college. That's how this country was. Most of us said no. We're not going to send the girl to college. She's got to get married. So she got married at 18, 19. He got married at 20, 21, whatever. He finished college. It was fine. We never asked for anything else. Then about 20 years ago, we said the boy has to have a degree. Yes or no? You have to have a degree. Now, since he's getting his degree done, she might as well get her college studies done, which was done fine. Then after that, after a while, we said he's got to get university certificate done. He's got to have a bachelor's or he's got to have a master's. Yes or no? Then after that came 5 more years later, we said no. उसके बाद degree तो चाहिए ना, मगर घर तो नहीं है. He doesn't have a house, he doesn't have investment, he doesn't have an investment in a flat, right? So we said, you know what? He got to have a job. He better have a job, he better have the money to invest in his flat or whatever it is, right? We put that pressure on him. She thought, you know what? Might as well get her to finish her bachelor's and a master's. So she started finishing her bachelor's and master's. We shifted it. Then came a point we said, you know what? He's got a job, he's done all of that, right? By that time, he's about 28 years old, right? 29 years old. If you look at the top of his head, it looks like a mini Heathrow Airport. You could land a plane on there, he's lost half his hair. Right? Now what happened, look, you know when he was 22, 23, let me tell you the truth. When they're 20, 21, 22, there's loads of proposals coming through. Yes or no? And we say, no, not now. He's got to finish studies, she's got to finish her studies, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, he's got to get his age, and we're saying all of that, right? So we already put in those stops. Best proposals, young girls, really nice ones are coming through, and we say, no, we're not ready. By the time they get to 26, 27, 28, the proposals are getting less and less and less. By the time they get to 29, 30, it's like, why isn't he married? Why isn't she married? Why haven't they got married yet? What's their problem? How many rejections did they have? True or not, guys? Come on, tell me. How many rejections did they have? Baat kya hai bhai? Bolo na. What's the matter? How many people have said no? There must be a problem. She's got a problem. He's got a problem. Now they go over 30, 31, 32, and you know what's happened? Another problem has happened. She eventually, because the older they get, the more set they get in their ways. Your 22-year-old and your 21-year-old, if they got married, they can become like, you know, when a young tree is green, you know, the branch is green, you can twist it in the trellis and you can weave it and make it into the shape you want. Yes or no? But when the branch turns brown, you can't twist it. It's gonna break. Ab ye mota isko twist nahi kar sakte. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mota ko twist nahi kar sakte. You can't twist him anymore. He's 30, 31. He's led an independent life. She's led an independent life. And when they get together, now you're getting them married, they look at each other, it's like, well, I'm not going to do that because I never did that for the last few years when I was independent in my life. I don't do that. So you don't tell me what to do. I lead my life as I want. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You got another problem. And now the new trend is what? 30, 31, 32, they've already tasted life. When in their university days, their hormones were bouncing up and down. They didn't know what to do. You said, no. Somewhere else, they've tasted life. They've done that thing. I can't say these young kids here, right? I hope you understand. They've tasted life. They've done it several times. They don't care right now. The 30, 31, 32, you know what the new trend is? You know what the new trend is? These boys get on a plane on a Friday night, they go all the way to Morocco for 2 days, they do what they want out there, they come back on a Sunday night, they say they went out with the lads to Dubai, they went out with the lads to Morocco. I'm telling you real facts here, right? These boys do that, they get together, they go for a weekend trip, they've done haram out there, there's women out there that are ready for them, they've got a whole system out there, they're doing it behind your back. Then they say to you, you know what, I don't feel like getting married. You know why? Now marriage is a great responsibility, it's too much for them. Are you waking up to the world that we're living in and you're going to tell me that you're going to carry on for the next 10 years with the system that we've got right now? I'm telling you where it starts. It starts from this masjid there with your maktab system. I'm going to ask you to change the system in your maktab system. I'll tell you one thing to do. Please hear me out. Please hear me out and don't judge me yet. And I know after I've said the next thing, there is going to be some talk, but I'm going to say it in the best way I can to you. Every one of these big masjids, mashallah, alhamdulillah, has got hundreds of thousands of pounds in the bank. After they paid their debts off. Yes or no, tell me. Guys, yes or no? A bit louder, because my iman is not, it's not pumping up enough. Guys, big yes or no? Then what these masjids do is they start investing in properties, which is good. It's like a really good income for the masjid. Fine. They buy this property, they buy that property, they buy this property, they buy that property with the monies that they got in the banks. Okay, fine. Your masjid is done. You're investing in that. You missed out on one massive point. I'm not saying this because your imam said this for me to say this. I've done this up and down the country. If you keep all the other imams that you've got, what you need to invest in, you need to invest in one young alim that comes here with a lot of passion. He has the language. I'm not saying to get rid of any Gujarati alim. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying get rid of any of the old scholars. No, keep all of them. You've got enough money to have one imam, young, vibrant, has got the language, has got the skill, has got the hot blood inside him to come as an imam and work in your masjid. You pay him a good salary, you give him a good thing. And look, when I say good, I mean pay him like you would pay yourselves in your own firms and factories. You can say me, "Kyun Maulvi Sahab, kyun kar rahi hai?" I tell you why, because you know when N Power sends the bill to you with £70 to pay for this bill, they don't send a reduced bill of £25 to Maulvi Sahab's house. His gas and your gas are the same price, yes or no? Or do they say, "Oh, you're one of those Maulvi Sahabs, right? Oh yeah, we know, yeah. You get a bit, you get less salary. Oh yeah, we feel so sorry for you, bro. Bro, we feel sorry. We're gonna give you a 60% discount on your gas bills. And guess what? If you take electricity from us, you're gonna get 70% from that. And all your Wi-Fi is gonna be almost free for you. Don't worry, Maulvi Sahab, you are such a holy person. We love you. And the community service that you're doing, for peanuts that you're getting paid, for the £12,000 or the £15,000 they're giving you, we are going to compensate for that because you are part of our community, Maulvi Sahab." I don't hear no phone call like that, my friend. He's got to buy his house, he's got his future, and guess what? Maulvi Sahab doesn't have less kids than you, he has more than you. Don't you tell me Maulvi Sahab has a low production line. All Maulvi Sahabs have a big, mashallah, good production line. He's got a lot of mouths to feed, he's got a future, he's got to get his own house, he's got to have his own car. Now, Maulvi Sahab's not asking you for something crazy. I'm asking you for one vibrant, one good mullah who comes here in the masjid. He's going to talk to everyone, and guess what he's going to do? He is going to raise your funds. I tell you one thing, tell me this, true or not, when you have one brilliant voice in the whole of Blackburn, some Fajr Salah in Blackburn somewhere, that Imam, he reads so brilliantly. That Isha Salah, that Imam, he reads so nicely. Tell me this, do you guys in Blackburn not flock to that masjid for your Ishas and your Fajrs and so on? You want to hear it? Do you feel like doing that, yes or no? Yes, that's what you want. That Maulvi Sahab, his sound's got to be real nice. He reads wonderful. He's got his vibrant, right? He comes, give him the mimbar on a Friday. Tell him to raise monies for you. For the masjid, for the future, whatever you want, for your houses, for your investments. He's going to do a fantastic job. But you know what? To get that kind of Maulvi Sahab, you're going to have to pay him the same thing he would have got if he never came to the masjid. One biggest thing we do is we say, "No, yaar, ye paise kyun mangte? Yaar, paise kyun?" Yeah, why? Isko to free to karna sakta. Fi sabilillah hona chahiye. Fi sabilillah hona chahiye. Fi sabilillah. You want, look, you guys living in Britain, my friend, he's not living in India. He's got the same bills I have to pay, like he's got a future he's got to look at. Let me tell you next thing that happens. If you were to pay him, your chandas will go up rocket time. I'm telling you, on Fridays, if Vibrant Mullah can take your chandas up, he'll bring the community together, he'll bring the youth together, he'll work with them, he'll have the sohbah with them, he'll bring new ideas, he'll bring a buzz into the community, and the musallis will be happy to pray behind him because he's got the lovely voice. Go on, there's plenty of farighin from all these masjids and madrasas that come out. All you need to do is please put once you put the package up, do it. Next thing what you do is, your maktab system is not a system to make money. Maktab doesn't make money. If you make something, it makes something very little. I want you to bring, there's a lot of ulama that are farig, and guess what? Look, I'm not gonna backbite them. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They've got household problems. They've got brothers that are in their houses. They've got to get their own house. The guy's got to get married. He's got to get his own house. It's a massive task. He's got 3 brothers in his house. He's got to find his own house. It's only 3-bedroom house. How is this guy going to make a living? So he starts working in Shell petrol station. He's a Maulana. Don't you tell me, oh, then you're going to say, oh, Maulana, why is he going to Shell petrol station, innit? What's he doing over there, yaar? What's he working there for? What's his problem? He's going to BT, working in BT. He's going to these environments where he becomes a project manager. And then he makes himself say, he's gone to the corporate environment. He's gone to these, these prison services. A lot of Maulanas have gone prison service. We've got an overpopulation. Why? Because they need a future and they're very talented, they're very gifted. They were the ones that if you kept in the masjid, your whole community would have changed. And you didn't want to pay the price. They went over there. You lost them. You're going to complain. You're going to say they went over there. I'm sorry to say, partly it's your fault. Right, next thing is this. When you don't have those Maulana Sahibs, you're going to have others. MashaAllah, you're going to end up with imams because of the salaries you pay. They're going to be your Khidr alayhi salam. You know Khidr alayhi salam? Yaar isko samajhta ya nahi? You know when Musa alayhi salam found Khidr alayhi salam, what was Khidr doing? Khidr is also very, very, he's mashallah. But Khidr alayhi salam, he's the type who can stay quiet. He's not going to do, he's going to do his own things and so on. Or let's just say you find the type that is not going to cause you, he's going to say the right thing. He's going to say what you want. He's going to be your, your mutawadi, your humble person doing all of that, mashallah. You found all of that. And everything is very fine for your masjid. But my friend, please listen to me for 1 minute. That Maulana is fine, his namaz is fine, his tilawah is fine, his taqwa is fine, his ibadah is fine, his Jummah khutbah is fine. But you know what? Your whole crowd, your kids, your maktab system, your vibe in the whole community is the same. And you're in the system, look, you're thinking, well, we're buying this house, we're buying that house, we're doing all that. Your kids are leaving the deen. Your kids are out there, they're not interested in the masjid. They need to have something in the masjid that attracts them. You need and then what you do is this. That Maulana, please understand this. I'm saying this from my heart. I've got nothing against you. Nobody in the committee members needs to leave their position. Nobody. Please don't say this tomorrow. All the people in the committee members, they stay exactly where they are. I'm going to give you a solution for the future. And a lot of masjids have tried. There's many masjids in England who have tried this, and they're finding success. Guys, please listen. Could we have the adhan at 10:02? Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay, dear. Okay. This is an important thing. In Walthamstow, we've got Masjid Abu Bakr. MashaAllah, 6-7 years ago they did this. The old committee, they turned around to the youth. One is you got young ulama, second one is you got very active young men inside the society. They're ready to make a big change for the youth. They want to give fi sabilillah time, they want to be volunteers, they want to have the youth clubs, they want to do something and change, bring those kids together, right? And they're being wasted, they're not given a platform. So what you do is, all committee members stay exactly where you are. Nobody's taking your position, nobody's there for your power. You stay there till Allah Azza wa Jal, wills. What you do, like this committee is, you call these young men you can work with, young men who have a balanced mind, young ulama, bring them together, say, look, we're going to create a subcommittee. We want you to become subcommittee. We're not going to give you authority for everything. We're going to give you authority for a little bit. We're going to ask you first, get those ulama for the bayans. You take over the bayans. You bring them in on the Saturdays. You bring them in for dars. You bring them in, create something. We want you to come in, and some of you want to work with the youth that are in drugs, the youth that are doing something else, that's not right. You are young people, you understand them. We've lived our time, we don't connect with them. This is the truth. You don't know what fortnight is. You don't know that. Come on, let's be honest. You see it, you're like, you don't understand. You don't understand these kids. These are called, oh my days, what's up, yeah, man, you're fam. You're like, fam kya kehta hai yaar? Fam kehta hai. You don't even understand. You don't understand the lingo, you don't understand language, you don't understand the attitude. You're way beyond your age. You're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70. These kids are 20, they're 15, they've got a new life, they've been born in the internet age. They've got now artificial intelligence soon that's going to make them go crazy. Because people are soon going to get chips in their skins. It's already happening. Forget having a joystick, they're going to have a chip in the skin where they're going to play games with a device over their eyes. They're going to be zoned out. That's happening. By 2030, that could be reality. I'm asking you to do this. Subcommittee, make them young people. Tell them, look, you have this much authority, you don't have the rest of the authority. Finances you keep. Give them a little budget. Say, okay, you can have this much from the masjid funds, but we want to have full transparency of how you use that. All transparency. Let them work. Give them a chance. Guys, give them a chance. Walthamstow, Masjid Abu Bakr. They did this. For 7 years, the committee has never asked the young subcommittee to get out of the way. Never. They've said, you know what? They've given more and more power every single year. They've seen the masjid change. There's Qiyamul Layls. There's youth that are buzzing. Youth come together. They have football tournaments. They have, table tennis tournaments. Who are doing this? Not the elders. I can't do this, guys. You can't do this. These are 20-year-olds. You need 20-year-olds with a vibrant, the self. You need them with their legs, with their energy. They got to go out there. They got to talk with they got to talk their language. They got to go out there with them and relate to them. And then they're going to bring the youth in the masjid, and they'll bring them for bayans and whatnot. You'll do that, guys. We need to change the system. If we don't change the system, you're going to face a massive problem. We're already facing it today. We're suffering today, right now. Our communities are very high in drugs. Tell me yes or no. We got drugs all over these streets. And what we do, the only thing we can do is go on the minbar and say, haram, jahannam, wrong, don't do this, sin, day of judgment, hellfire. That's all we can talk about. Is that it? They don't care. They don't care, and guess what? Even if they care, they're addicted. They can't even get off those things. How are you going to get them off drugs? How are you going to clean the streets of drugs? You need young people, and guess what? Your masjid has got hundreds and thousands of pounds. For God's sake, you've got a massive building, you've got all this, you've got enough space for all the musallis, you probably even invested in school, you've got a maktab system. Please invest in your volunteer workers. You can pay one of them if you have to. Youth clubs, invest in your young imams. I'm not saying any of the old imams have to go. Get one of these imams in, and I want you to see the difference you're going to cause, because the future's looking bleak. I tell you why. I tell you why the future's looking bleak. Today they're playing on these games, and they're addicted to these games. Tomorrow, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. And this is already being written down as from theorists who have been working with this. They're saying that the next age is going to have chips in the skin. There's a video I've seen of an Indian guy who got tested by Google. Google put a chip in his skin, by the side of his neck. That chip was connected to his brain. You then ask him a question, his brain processes the question, the brain then links up to the microchip connects to the internet gives him the answer into the microchip back to his brain, and then he'll give you the answer. Any answer Google can give you, he will give it in 6 seconds. Google takes point something seconds, 00 seconds, he will take 6 seconds to give you the answer. What they're saying is they're going to start giving these chips out. People are going to, young kids, I'm going to put chips in. Why? Because you can download your memories in your chips. You can play games by having certain, goggles, or they're saying certain, because your iris, you can have certain lenses that have got microchips inside them. So you have contact lenses, put them in your eyes, you got your chip in your neck, then you go into a mode where you're zoned off. Now look at me right now. You sit there like that, and you're in the head, you're playing a game. You're moving, the same thing that you do on PS4 right now. You just do that. You're playing the chips, doing everything because you're controlling it with the chip. You can download information, you can upload information, and the worst thing is the companies that have got access to these microchips, they have got access to them, they've got access to all the information, and if they want to put some information into the millions of customers that have bought these microchips, they will send them in, and they can upload the information that's not even true inside their brains. You know what they're saying? This could be by 2030. Look where we are right now. We're in 2020 right now. Look how fast and how advanced we've become. Every year, by the time a phone comes out, before the end of the year, the phone is old, yes or no? There's something much better. It's getting much, much advanced. By 2030, 2040, they're saying definite. By that time, we don't know what the world's going to look like. Guys, please wake up, make a change, engage these kids, do something with your maktab system. Let's stop this thing that they finish the Quran and they leave. Please tell all your, and another thing you have to do, you have to get all the parents in, and please, I want you to raise the fees. There's nothing wrong in raising the fees. When Skybox, subscription went up from £20 to £25, People paid it. Went from 25 to 30, people paid it. Today is staying at 60 quid. 60 quid a month, 70 quid a month. People are paying it, yes or no? Come on guys, yes or no? But the maktab has to be exactly, I've got 1 minute. The maktab has to be exactly the same. The teachers got to get minimum wage. We've got to do all this fi sabilillah. Guys, la ilaha illallah. If you're going to carry on like this, you're not going to get the best of the cream of the crop of your ustads, of your ulama. They're not going to be coming to your masjids. You're going to end up with these kids not engaging. Then these kids, like I said to you, you know what, the last thing I'll say to you, a recent research was done in America between young adults, young kids like teenagers and you know, teenagers and young adults. They found 23% of Muslims in America do not identify themselves as Muslims. 23%. The percentage might be lower in this country, but you know what? Murtads, irtidad is on the rise. Our kids are leaving, even if they look like they haven't left the deen, their mind has already been corrupted in many ways. And they're not interested in the masjid, they're not interested in the akhirah. We're losing them. My teacher said, he said one thing when he came, my ustad from Bangladesh came and he said one thing. He said, "Inhone to aapko madrasa aur masjid de diya, lekin aapke bachche ke zehn ko le liya." He said, they've given you these masjids and they've given the madrasas, but he said, like eagles and hawks that swoop in, he said, they have taken the minds of your children, and in exchange they're giving you the masjid and the madrasas. I want you to take that as Allah, my last word. Jazakumullah khair. Sorry for the slight delay. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.